Hi, welcome back to another segment of That's Your Cue. I'm going to show you how to make this glowing springtime centerpiece for just under $25. Here are the things you'll need: an inner cylinder, an outer cylinder, a pillar candle, and 3 different color of tulips.
So I'm going to start with my centerpiece. It's a very inexpensive centerpiece. It's very easy to do. Anybody can do it. I'm not a florist, so I kind of do things in the way I think makes sense, and I hope that it works for you as well. So follow along. Basically, I got this cylinder vase from Walmart. It was $4.97, so it was really inexpensive. And then I got this pillar. This is actually a pillar candle inside another cylinder vase from the Dollar Tree. So this is actually going to go inside just like that. It's on sale. They were $4.99 a bunch, and I got 3 bunches. So that was about $15 in flowers. We have $5 for this vase, $1 for this one, and $1 for the pillar candle. So that's $2, $5, $15, $20, $21, $22 for this arrangement. Okay. Now this arrangement could be used for a lot of different things. You could use this for a spring-inspired tablescape for Easter. You could use this for a wedding if you're having a spring wedding. You can use this sort of concept in a lot of different places, just changing out the flowers. Now the reason I decided to use tulips is they do remind you of spring. I like that tulips have an array of colors. They're very bountiful in terms of their vibrancy. I also like the fact that they have this sort of contemporary shape to their bloom. The other thing I like is that they have really pretty stems. A lot of flowers don't have nice stems. Like roses, I think, have the ugliest stems on the planet, and so sometimes I like to hide that in the oasis or some other way. But anyways, these have a great color to their greenery, to their leaves. It's very vibrant, very saturated with green. So that's what I'm going to use. That's why I chose to use those flowers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've sunken my candlestick inside the first vase, and I'm just going to go ahead and add water to the cylinder. So you're adding water in between the outside cylinder and the inside cylinder. So there's water all around. Actually, I think I'm going to add a little bit more. You want to fill up half the vase. So let's put a little bit more water in there. Oops, spilled it. Okay, so right now the center candle might float just a little bit. That's okay, because once you start putting the stems in, it'll kind of hold itself in place. So I'm going to start with my the color that I have the most of, which was the sort of pinkish red tulips, and I cut them already before I started the video, and I cut them a little shorter than the orange tulips, so that they'll be on the outside and they'll, sort of form a rim. So you're going to have to cut your tulips at different lengths. So I'm starting there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to place them on the in between the 2 cylinders, just like this. You want to make sure they go all the way down to the bottom so that they're getting enough water. Super, super, super duper simple. And go ahead and put them in there haphazardly for right now, and then you'll straighten the stems out a little bit better as we go. Now the other key, or the other reason why I like tulips, is because they kind of have this lazy look to them. They're very delicate in terms of their stems, so you have to be careful with them as well. But I like that they sort of have this droopy look to them. It kind of has this really soft elegance to them when they kind of droop over the sides of the vaseware of your vessels. So if you wanted to be a little bit more structured with your flowers, you can make sure that all the stems are straight if you really wanted to get into it. But I like when they just, like I said, look sort of haphazard, just kind of tucked in there. So you go ahead and you put those in the first round, like this. Now, when you're putting them in to your vase, you want the flowers to go outwards. So if your stem take these out real quick. So if your stem happens to be doing this already, you want to make sure that that heads outwards of your vase. And the reason is because we already have this sunken in pillar candle, and when we light the candle, we don't want the flower or the bloom or the leaves or anything to be over top of the flame. So you're going to make sure you're inserting the next round. Actually, these are a little too long, so I'm going to take them down a little bit in size, in length, I should say. Okay, and let's go ahead and put those in. Keep adding our flowers until we fill up the entire vase. Okay. Again, these are kind of at the end of their shelf life, so some of them might be a little hard to work with, but you can just keep adding. Okay, so we've pretty much added all of our flowers. Now I'm just going to go around and I'm going to tuck in my leaves into the vase around the edges there, because I want the vase to show, or the greenery to show, the stems in the bottom. And this kind of adds another like loopy texture to it, a little whimsy to it. Keep turning your vase. So now once they're all tucked in, I'm going to just double check and make sure that the center in there also is clear of stems and leaves. Then, once you're done, you can go ahead and light the center. Uh-oh, I think I got a little water in there by accident. Let's get that cleaned up. Okay. Go ahead and light it. And then you will start to get a glow. Let me see if I can turn off some lights and see if that helps. See it a little better. You can start to see that it glows in the center of your vase. And now it creates this sort of interesting texture because the water in the vase is sort of magnifying the light, as well as giving you this sort of interesting texture from the stems below. So basically that's my centerpiece. It's really simple, really easy, inexpensive, and I hope you enjoyed that video. Oh, ciao for now. Thanks for watching.